Hello, hello. How are you? I know I sound a little bad. Um, but how are you? How are you? Did I mess this up? Anyway, so we're gonna see if anybody shows up. Sorry, we're gonna see if anybody shows up. It is Friday night. If not, then yeah, I don't know. We'll go ahead. What? So there is something wrong with my light, and I don't know what it is. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Kaylin. Okay, there's something going on in my light, so it might turn on. If not, I'm really going to be irritated because this light I haven't had that long. All right, so tonight I'm not going to stay on long on here because I just want to, get you all prepared. So now, last month, I totally forgot. Hi, D'Angelo. I forgot about the full moon cycle. Don't ask me how, but I remembered it this month. So we're going to talk about the full moon cycle when it comes into astrology and like we did with the new moons, right? So the full moon is tomorrow night. Now, when it comes down to using the full moon cycle, the moon cycles, full moons are about letting go, are completions, because of course the full moon is the completion of a cycle, a moon cycle. So they're about completions. So what happens when you're talking about the full moon is that they're usually talking about completing something, letting go of things like that. So we are in the full moon in Virgo coming up tomorrow. Now, like I said, whenever you're doing things like this, it's always good to like create your own, if you want to say it like this, ritual in reference to it. So you want to create how you think about these things. So the thing about Virgo, let's talk about Virgo as a sign, is all about um um fixing things, being sort of like in Virgos are very nitpicky, as I like to say, right? So what happens with being with Virgo is if you are are too can be too critical of ourselves, and it can also make us stress out and try to be perfect. So that is the harsh side, the lower side of Virgo, which is about trying to be perfect, and trying to to treat everything like it should be perfect and everything. All right. And you try to control everything around you. And that is a very Virgo tendency. So now, when it comes down to dealing with Moon and Virgo and letting and completion, it is about, how do I want to say this? It is about letting go of these feelings of perfectionism and allowing yourself to be okay with this. And so let me give you what I mean. I did something. Uh, I left something upstairs I was looking at. Okay. So what it means is that you must allow yourselves to let go of things. It is about completing some things. And part of what you're going to complete is allowing yourself to understand that you don't have to be perfect. What do you want, Juicy? You don't want everything doesn't have to be perfect. And that it's okay to let go of things. So part of this completion and while you're in Virgo, is to say that um, you have to recognize your talents, and then you have to heal. So there are some things that's you either have to forgive yourself or forgive somebody else. That's part of a healing process. And that's usually something that's happening in full moon in Virgo. So what I mean by that is sometimes we don't forgive ourselves for things that have happened, or we regret things that we haven't done, and it's okay. You have to start letting that go in order to have the life that you want. And also, it's about forgiving others. But understand, forgiving others does not mean you have to let them back in your life. It just means you have to release that anger. You have to release whatever emotions you have about that person or that situation. You have to release it, and then and give it forgiveness. And but once again, it doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life. So that is one of the things about Virgo, full moon in Virgo. So that's kind of what you want to kind of focus on, is what do you need to let go of, forgiving yourself in order to be able to be not necessarily a better person, but be willing to able to enjoy who you are in your life. So that is where you're going to go with that. So as opposed to allowing yourself to beating yourself up forever about something, forgive yourself for it, move on, and then you can start living your life. And everything doesn't have to be perfect, right? And that's the thing about being a Virgo, about completing things, is looking at things that you have really just been super critical of yourself, maybe super critical of others, and let that shit go. It's time to let that go, because when you are sitting in that side of Virgo, you are sitting in the lower self. You are trying to, vibrate higher, as they say, higher vibrations. And when you do that, is like, hey Anisha, you allow yourself to have the best life that you want. And also, when you do that, it puts you in this place where you don't want to ask people for help. You don't want to accept help. You don't want, you're so critical and so busy trying to be perfect. You don't want people to know what's happening with you. You want to be in this place of, I am perfect. And when you do that, then you're not, it will drive you insane. So that's part of letting go. When it comes to other people, like I said, you need to let go of and forgive them. It's not necessarily that they got to be back in your life, but you do need to forgive them. Um, so this will bring up emotion. So if you really sit in this Virgo full moon, it is going to bring up emotions. And some of those emotions may not be happy emotions, and they're not going to be pleasant, and they are going to be painful, but you have to ride through that pain to get to the other side. And by doing that, you are able to release some of that anger, some of the sadness, some of the feelings that we have, especially when it comes to other people. When it comes to professional side of your life, because remember, there's the personal and the professional, there's a completion about this time too, which means that you should be completing something in reference to letting go of some of these expectations of yourself professionally on a perfection level, which is and allow yourself to understand that you don't have to be perfect to be good at your profession, to be excellent at whatever you're doing. And by doing that, it'll take you to the other side to begin doing the things that you should be doing, or opening yourself up to the newness that's coming in the new um, with the new moon. So understand, it's not about that you're going to do all this tomorrow. It's about starting to let it go and starting this process now, and forgiving yourself, others, and being forgiving of who you are professionally, or being able to say that these are the things that I've done professionally that I could change, and it's okay. And it's okay. All right. All right, so I'm not gonna keep y'all this long over here, because I know this is like some kind of like really like Um, it's very like a very, specific conversation. So I'm gonna let this one go, and then I'm probably gonna come back on the other channel so we could chit chat a little more. Just have a little chit chat and I want to leave this here like this, so whoever wants to hear it won't have to be looking it for other things. I will put a link down in reference to some other information about full moon in Virgo to help you process it and help you get through and make you, as you prepare to do what you want to do in reference to it, right? And what you want to focus on, what you want to work on in your internal and external life. All right, now that is it for tonight on this one. I'll probably be back on tomorrow over here just to chit chat. You all have a great night.